to your favorite human interest chat show, The African Dream. Today we're bringing the show to you from Accra in Ghana, and we're here at the Alisa Hotel, kind sponsors of today's edition. We have for our special guest, Ato Ulzen-Appiah. Thank you for being here on The African Dream with us.
Thank you so much for having me, Oral.
It's
been a while.
Yeah. You're looking good yourself.
Thank you.
Congratulations on being married.
Thank you. It's been 1 year in.
I know, right?
I always tell people that marriage is everything they said it will be.
Nice.
So
and more.
Well, yeah. So nothing much surprises me.
Nice.
So we are trying to get better and better. I think we are getting better and better.
Good.
So
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
So Barcamp, tell us, what is Barcamp?
Okay, so it's an event. It's here in Ghana. We like to call it free networking forums.
Okay.
So Barcamps are organized by an organization I run called GhanaThink.
Okay.
And but Barcamps are all over the world.
Right.
So the idea of a Barcamp is an on-conference. So it's something that your normal conference isn't. So like for a lot of conferences, you go to it, there are a lot of speakers, panels. But the Barcamp is an on-conference in the sense that there are not a lot of speakers and panels.
Right.
You get the chance to really speak and share what you are about. So it's very, very interactive.
Right.
It's also very open. So, anybody can attend a Barcamp. People don't come there wearing suits and ties and things like that.
Gotcha.
It's also ad hoc. So it's ad hoc in the sense that a lot of what happens at the Barcamp is not planned, right?
Spontaneous.
It's spontaneous. So, the organizers will definitely have some thoughts, but, what happens at the Barcamp is really driven by those who attend.
Gotcha.
So that's what a Barcamp is.
Gotcha.
In Ghana, we organize these Barcamps around these ideas. But like I said, for us, it's a free networking forum. So it's a forum, like most forums that people will go to, but there's a lot of networking because we really encourage people to interact and meet each other, and it's also free.
Right.
So that's what the Barcamps are, and we've created a Barcamp Ghana program around these Barcamps.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So how long has this Barcamp been going on in Ghana?
Okay, so in Ghana, we started in December 2008. So this would be 10 years since we started.
A whole decade.
Yeah, we've done 82 of these Barcamps.
Nice, congrats.
Thank you.
All across the country.
All across the country. We've had one in every region. Actually, since 2015, we've been doing it in every region. So we grew from doing it in just Accra, Aden, Kumasi, and Takoradi, and then now we're all over the country. Last year, we started Barcamp Adan and Barcamp Somenya with a partner. And but we organize the Barcamps in every regional capital, Kaswa, Tema, and then we've also started to do this Ata and Somenya one. So we've had over 12,000 people come to the Barcamps.
Impressive.
And they've all been impacted because of the way we organize the Barcamps. It's very personal and it's very valuable for the people who come. So, we know for a fact that those who come have been impacted the way we want them to be impacted.
That's good.
And how we want them to be impacted, what we are trying to do with the Barcamps or the program is to build a network of change makers, doers, and entrepreneurs. So we believe that everybody who comes to a Barcamp starts to make some change if they are not already making change, because a lot of the people who come are already making change and they come to meet people, etc., etc. And we hope that they get things done, and that comes from the premise of in Ghana we like to talk a lot and complain a lot, and no one wants to really get dirty and get the work done. So we hope that people who come to the Barcamps start to get work done, do things, and then obviously entrepreneurs, because we believe a lot in the entrepreneurial spirit.
So
we
you're
think
basically looking to spring people into action where they get to actualize their
basically
thoughts,
they actualize their thoughts. So they actualize their thoughts. They improve what they're already doing, right? Because they might already be working somewhere. They improve what they are doing. They improve their work ethic. If they are now about to work, they become better workers. They become better students. If they want to go entrepreneurship, they become better entrepreneurs. If they see problems in their community, they start to talk about how can we solve it and not just complaining. So that's what we are really driving.
That's very forward thinking.
Yes.
You mentioned the fact that Barcamp was created by GhanaThink Foundation. Tell us about that, GhanaThink
So
Foundation.
GhanaThink has been around since about 2004 as an organization. But before that, it was made up of a lot of young Ghanaian students, mostly in the US, some in the UK, and some in Ghana and other countries. So basically, the organization was formed because this group of people were having a lot of conversations about Ghana. You know, intellectual conversations, if I should put it that way. And the organization was formed because they wanted to do something. You know, so they were, you know, we were always talking about like how we can solve a certain issue in Accra or how we can solve a certain issue that affects Ghana. But we're like, oh, you know, what if we did this about this particular problem? And that's where GhanaThink came. So GhanaThink was created as an organization to mobilize and organize these people, and in that sense, help them, you know, start whatever they want to start. So I'll say before we started the Barcamps, we helped some people start certain things. So I'll say the two popular ones definitely are Kasahoro, which is I guess a web company that enables African languages on the web. So they do things like they have like I use their keyboard on my phone to type Tree characters and things like that. So that's one of the things they do.
So Kasahoro, for those who are watching, in the Ghanaian language, Tree language, it means multiple languages.
Yeah, many languages. Yeah. So that was the idea. So it was to bring many African languages online.
Right.
Yeah. So that was one thing that we. So basically, some people within GhanaThink started it, and then GhanaThink as an organization helped them find their feet. And then I think after 2 or 3 years, we moved Kasahoro out of GhanaThink for them to be on their own. Right. So that was one example. So incubation to a certain extent. Right. The certain example was Museke, and that's something that I was working on. That was focused on African music lyrics. Gotcha. Yeah. So that's what we were doing mostly till we started the Barcamps. Since we started the Barcamps, we've doubled. We've not done much of the incubation. We're actually not really doing any incubation, but we are working on our programs. So Barcamp Ghana is one of our programs, which I've talked about. We have Junior Camp Ghana. So Barcamp Ghana targets 18 to 35-year-olds. Junior Camp Ghana targets high school students, so 12 to 18. And that focuses more on like providing value to these students. So that's our second program. We have Ghana Volunteer Program, which is encouraging volunteerism in Ghana. And we are working on the fourth program, that's on social entrepreneurship. Yeah, which we started last year.
Viewers will have Ato Ulzen-Appiah give us a little preview of what a Barcamp camp is like. It's not a conference. It's an on-conference.
It's an on-conference.
So enjoy this video, but he's going to tell us a little bit about what you're seeing and where it happened, when it happened, and a little bit of teaser about it.
So this is a video that shows what Barcamps are about and what happens there. Because I think a lot of people, thanks to the work that we've done, a lot of people have heard about Barcamps but have not been before. And sometimes they are wondering what happens. So I think this is a good way for people to realize what happens. Because it's a special event. There are not a lot of events that are organized like ours in Ghana and around the world. But we like. I think we like the way the Barcamp format is. That's why we use it. Because it really encourages people to share with each other. So as opposed to, you might go to an event and learn something from somebody, right? But if you go to an event, you're able to tell somebody, like, this is who I am, this is what I'm interested in, this is what I'm doing now, this is what I want to do. Then you can get advice based on that, and that's what the Barcamp really is about. Right. Yeah.
So, folks, enjoy this video, and hopefully you get to know what Barcamp is really about.
Okay, so meet me here, the Barcamp is yeah. What do you have to say about Barcamp?
Hey, today's Barcamp, you just can't miss out. Hey, one Bakra, just say.
One break.
Jai cry. Hey, I'm very saying.
Ivy, look here now. Yes, meet Ivy. Ivy is our registration woman. She's doing a great job. Oh, would you give us high five?
And professionalism to drive change in education in Cape Coast. What is happening now? And ECHO has shared a wonderful innovation that pays doing in Cape Coast and its environs, and I'm glad to learn so much. What has happened? What have you done? What have you seen somebody done in terms of innovation and professionalism to drive change in education? Share with us.
Okay, so through one man idea, not talking to a lot of people, when the rest sees it, they will try and then follow, and then that will be the innovation we are talking about. Thank you.
While waiting for their turn, you can also network, talk to the next person next to you, get to know the person. So it's all about sharing, networking.
Okay, so meet Ruben. Ruben is going to tell us his Barcamp experience. So what are Barcamps and what do you do at Barcamp?
Hello, what's your friend Ruben? Now this year we're in Barcamp number 2. I'm about Cape Coast. Barcamp network event here or for young people and youth ideas I'll go to my boy here in Ghana. It's never Barcamp when your opportunity and the mentors are what you good for as we are working even if our ideas are we create group name also I say that's a way your hobby so that will say every trip I say you should go to my Barcamp only adults there you those who network for Sunday on now or Friday.
I will say alleviation. Take it, make a love you. Go down low, go if you so. I like the way you whine for me, I like the way you dance for me. No darling, no rushing, stop for me, no stop. Whine for me, don't club. Take it, be like this.
Frank, if you can tell us what you think about the Ghanaian youth these days and what we are doing right, what you're not doing right, how we can use the media, advocacy, and all the things we talk about. Yeah.
Right, so thank you very much, Rachel. I must say, the youth of Ghana want to start something on their own. I mean, seeing things go wrong around them, they want to, get something doing, for themselves. But we live in a country or in a society where certain things are looked down on. So over time, the older generation or people before us, before young people in this country, they've seen other professions as the only, things to do, or the only professions that one can become active in. So banking, doctoring, or medicine, law. No, these are traditional and good professions. But in the 21st century, we've come to see the emergence of digital media. So the use of computer to tell stories, the use of the internet to chronicle our lives and to make money from the things that we can do positively with the internet. The second you come out from college or university and you want to start something on your own that is not within the conservative work structure, you are branded as rebellious and you don't know really what to do with your life. Young people are growing, young people are evolving, and we need to give them the chance to find themselves. Okay, so if you are in school as a university student and you really can create stuff with the computer, I think you should continue with it. Go ahead and finish the 4-year degree program.
Yes, don't stop.
Don't stop. Get that degree, okay? Yeah. Then use the skill you've acquired from learning how to create, wonderful images, with your computer, and make it official. Okay,
Yeah.
you can take that skill and make money out of it.
Welcome back, folks. This is Oral Ofori of The African Dream. We're here at the Alisa Hotel in Northridge, Accra, Ghana, and for our special guest, Ato Ulzen-Appiah of GhanaThink Foundation and founder of Barcamp Ghana. And we just watched a video of what Barcamp is like, so hopefully that gives you an idea. And if you're interested, go to the next Barcamp event, which is coming up. Ato is going to tell you about it and give you an idea of how to connect with them online as far as Barcamp, events are concerned. So over to you.
Yeah, so our next Barcamp is going to be in Tema.
Okay.
Barcamp Tema. You can just find information about that online. We are very big proponents of the internet at GhanaThink, and even personally myself. So you can just look for Barcamp. Barcamp is, I'm wearing a t-shirt so you can see it. So you can find a lot of information about Barcamp Tema, Barcamp Ghana, etc. online, especially on Facebook and Twitter.
I noticed in the video there were a lot of young people in there, and it was pretty impressive. It's just amazing how the power of organization can pull a bunch of young people together that share and believe in, the basic ideas with which they need to build themselves up as far as being entrepreneurial is concerned.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you feel your organization can do to strengthen that entrepreneurial spirit in, young and upcoming Ghanaians in particular, and maybe Africa in general, because there's been a lot of complaints among, especially the youths, that life is hard, things are hard, but we see people like you making it, and there are examples of your kind out there. So what's been the secret? What's been the driving force?
So I think, to a certain extent, the kind of people that we assemble at Barcamps tend to be people I'll call not your average Ghanaian, right? They are people who think a bit like me, want to get things done, are entrepreneurial. And it's intentional, right? It's intentional. But I think what we are trying to do is that as we continue to increase those numbers of people in their day-to-day interactions with other youth, they will also become better, right? Because normally when we are organizing the Barcamps, we do a lot of our marketing through social media, mostly social media actually, and social communication like WhatsApp, so there are a lot of people that don't get to hear about Barcamp. We could do more if we had more money, right? Obviously, but even for what we are doing now, we always get our numbers. So for instance, we have anywhere from 100 to 400 people come to a single Barcamp.
That's impressive.
Last year at Barcamp Accra, we had about 280 people, right? So for what we are doing now, we still get people, right? So that's fine for us. And obviously, as we get more money and we build our brand, more people will get to hear about us. So I think that is what we are more focused on. But secondly, there are so many other organizations in the ecosystem, whether you want to call it the startup ecosystem or social enterprise ecosystem, whatever it is, that are doing so many things. So for us, we want to focus on what we do best. So a lot of these other organizations, we invite them to come to Barcamps. They come as they come as themselves, or they come as representing their organizations, and we talk about them. Right? Because for instance, if someone comes to a Barcamp and he says, I have this idea, I want to work on this particular business, we at GhanaThink, we're not going to give them money, right? And we're also not going to give them, we're not going to mentor them on their business. But we can tell them, hey, this looks like a tech business, go and talk to iSpace. Or this looks like a hardware engineering type business, go and talk to Kumasi Hive. Or this looks like tech, you also talk to Hyperspace in Kumasi, you can talk to Impact Hub in Accra. So it's very important for us as GhanaThink and those running Barcamps to know all of these things, so that whatever that young person says their problem is, we can give them an answer.
Interesting.
No matter what it is. If we don't know, that's a problem for us. Right? Because we want to ensure that everybody becomes better. So we have a lot of information.
That's interesting. Now, if you had an opportunity to be in government for one day, having the youth in mind,
Oh boy.
what would you say, or what policy would you like to see
Wow.
implemented to champion the cause of the youth?
This
Because,
is interesting.
You know, like
Okay.
Africa has one of the biggest gold mine, which is youth, and thankfully, thanks to social entrepreneurism, thanks to social media,
Yeah.
youths are starting to get more and more closer together
Yeah.
and getting more and more connected and realizing that you can get stuff done. What are some of the things that you would seek to push
Okay.
if you had that huge opportunity?
So this is not something I really thought of. The most important word that comes to mind is jobs. Another important word that comes to mind is maybe the idea of responsibility. Yeah, so basically if I was in government, I think what I would do, or the policy, would be to ensure that we can create a lot of jobs. And I'm not saying government creating jobs, I'm saying Ghanaians creating jobs. I think one of the biggest challenges I think we have in this country is we have way too many small companies, right? I mean, all around the world, a lot of SMEs drive the economy, but you can't compare SME in the US to SME in Ghana, right? So we claim we have a lot of SMEs, but they are not at the level that they should be at. So I think as a government, I think the policy should be to how can we help Ghanaian-owned companies that are doing business in Ghana to be able to scale to hire more people. I think that's really what it is.
Right.
And then within that, you're talking about the companies that already exist, the big ones, who I even think, if you even think of the companies that hire a lot of people in Ghana, their numbers are not that big.
Right.
I mean, Group Indum hires 5,000 people, which is big. It sounds big, but it could be much more. Right? Then you come to other companies that only have 30, 50, 100 employees. They should be having 100, 200, 300 employees, right? So that more people can get access to jobs, more people can get access to livelihoods. Because I think when that happens, you have a lot more people who have money, right? They have money to spend. I think a lot of times when you look at development, we're talking about poverty alleviation. I think we need to think about wealth creation, right? How do you help people have wealth so that if I start a new business and I am selling something in particular, people will buy. Right? And I think that's really the solution. And then I think for responsibility bit is also just for young people to understand that they are responsible for their own success more than the government, right? So government has to feed into how can we enable young people to be more successful.
Right. I like the way you put it when you began by saying we can create more jobs, and you emphasize the fact that not government. So
I think we depend too much on government in Ghana.
Exactly. So it's a good thing.
And it's actually a bad problem.
Right. It's a good thing
because it shows up in our elections. It shows up in how bad our politicians are. That's because we give them so much power.
Right.
We have to reduce that power.
Right.
Yeah.
And to cap it off, you said every individual is responsible for the making of their own success story, which is very important. I feel like it's important for young people to realize that, the system is an enabler, but for you to activate that enabling, part of the system, you have to look within yourself, because even when twins die, they are not buried in the same coffin. So each individual is responsible for their own success. I know it could be hard, but if you start thinking and believing, and associating yourself,
right?
Like Barcamp,
exactly. So if you get to realize that, I have to be more responsible for my own success, hopefully you will start to look for how can I find that? Who do I relate to? Who do I talk to? What kind of questions do I ask? Who am I following? Following is very important because a lot of people are following bad politicians. So who am I following? That kind of thing. So I think it's very important. Like, we should not act entitled. We have to be responsible. Yeah. And I mean, our president has said this, that we should not be spectators, we should be active citizens, right? And I definitely agree. I think Nanado giving us that statement, it's one of the best things he's done as president.
That's interesting.
So so shout out Nanado. Your government can do better, but shout out.
hearing it from Ato Ulzen-Appiah of Barcamp Ghana and GhanaThink Foundation. Ato, tell us, where are you taking GhanaThink Foundation? Where do you want to see it?
Okay. So, so I think I talked about our mission earlier, which is to mobilize and organize talent for the primary benefit of Ghana and of the world. Our vision is to build a critical mass of young people around Ghana who are passionate, patriotic, positive, proactive, progressive, and most importantly, productive. So this is where we are going, right? We want to see, sometimes people ask us, what is critical mass? And the number we work with is 2,330,000. So we believe if you could get 2,330,000 young Ghanaians who are all these things that I mentioned, Ghana will be a much better country. So that's what we are working towards. Currently, we feel like through what we've done, we've been able to reach maybe about 100,000 people. So we have a long way to go to 2,330,000.
We'll get there.
But we have to get there soon, though, for the benefits of Ghana. So we are working on it.
Critical mass. You want the masses to be critical. And, move us towards that expected, number, so Ghana can become what we want it to
I mean, our population is increasing a lot, but I still think it's a good number that we can work with.
It's a decent number. I don't know where you got it from, but I think it's.
It's from the Ghana number 233.
Oh. Totally got me there.
So it's from the Ghana number 233. We are very, very passionate about Ghana. So
that's good to know. It's been fun having you here on the
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
If you want to get in touch with Ato Ulzen-Appiah, his address is right there on the screen. His Twitter account is there on the screen. Barcamp Ghana and all that. Get in touch, connect with them. They're doing an amazing work, and they could use all the support.
Definitely, we're always looking for support. We started out as an NGO, but I think since about 2013, 2014, we've been operating more as a social enterprise. So it's been going well. We have a lot of great supporters like Tigo, which is now Airtel Tigo, one of our biggest partners, and then we have even partners who are small companies in Kumasi, Takoradi, etc. So it's really great that has been going on, and more of them to everybody. And we always, we always open for collaborations and partnerships. It works for us, and more of them.
More of them. Ato Ulzen-Appiah, founder, GhanaThink Foundation, and collaborator, Barcamp Ghana. This is the Ato Ulzen-Appiah. It's been nice.
The mighty Africa.
Okay.
Okay. Chai, thanks for